A lot of you probably already know what a bench press is. You've seen it 100 times. Why do we do a bench press? Bench press is for men and women, boys, girls of all ages. It works your chest muscles, it works the front part of the shoulder, and it also works the tricep. It's called a compound movement. Compound movements are very important because it allows you to work a lot of muscle groups very quickly. There's a reason that the bench press has been around so long and been so popular for so many people. It really does work very well. It's very good for sports activities. You can imagine anything where you have to shove somebody, that would be a plus. But it does build the entire upper body, and if you're short on time, you can get a lot of work done by doing compound movements. I'm going to show you a couple of things to point out about the bench press, and I'm really not talking to, if you're an advanced bodybuilder or you're a weightlifter, you can just kind of flip channels right now because you're not going to get much out of this. But that's not really who we're talking to. We're talking to the people that have never done anything and are curious, and maybe you're fixing to come into the club and you want to have a little knowledge so that you don't feel out of place. That's who I'm talking to right now. So this is a bench press. They're pretty standard. They always have a little rack on the back, and I'm using some very light weight, even for me, even for the old man, so that I can talk a little bit while I'm showing you. One of the things you want to do is you want your grip wider than your shoulders. If you get too close, you start working too much tricep and not enough chest and shoulders. You unrack the bar. Usually you always want a spotter on this exercise. I'm not using enough weight, and if I get stuck, the camera people will pull it off of me. You're going to come down to your lower chest and stop right before you touch your chest. Now this is something that may be a shock to some people because you'll see some guys in the weight room and they'll bounce it off of their chest. Well, we don't do that here. Not when we're teaching the correct form. Now, if you were a powerlifter and you're in competition, they make you hold it on your chest. But I want to point out something. When you're doing bench press, a lot of people have shoulder problems because of bench press, because when they touch their chest, they're really putting their shoulder girdle in a bind, and it can lead to a lot of rotator cuff problems. So what you're going to do is, what I recommend to people, especially if you're never going to be tested in the bench press, come down to where your arm is parallel to the floor and then back up. Now on me, that's going to be like this. See how far the bar is from my chest? And then back up. Now, what I do, because I am an old power lifter, every now and then I just have to touch my chest to make sure I've still got that. But I think that everybody gets all the muscle benefit by stopping, and maybe even more. Now what happens on that is you're going to do sets of 3 or 4 sets. Ladies will sometimes do as many as 15 repetitions. Really and truly, your muscles are the same as everybody's. We want you to build the muscle tissue. You're not going to get big brawny muscles. You don't have the testosterone to do that. You're just going to get firmer and toned. And guys, your rep range, depending on your goals, is going to range somewhere between 6 to 12. After you bring the bar down till it's almost touching your chest and you extend it up, one of the things that you should know is if you're an athlete and you're training for athletics, you should do so explosively. In other words, you should bring down the bar slow and controlled manner and then explode up. If you're just trying to gain muscle, tighten up, firm up, it's a very moderate speed. It's 2 seconds down, 2 to 4 seconds back up. You know, it's just a nice cadence, kind of like you used to do when you were in elementary school doing push-ups.